Yeah, it was an exciting time to be in the team because, I think the 1971-2 series, Australia were just starting to shape up. Ian Chappell was making his way as captain of Australia, and then all of a sudden Lilly had made an amazing impact in England, and Bob Massey took something like 16 wickets in his first Test match. The nucleus was there for the side, and I guess going forward for the next 3 or 4 seasons, there were probably only 16 or 17 players that took part in the Test 12. And so I guess the glue that held us together, the leadership of Ian Chappell, and just the individual skill. When you look around the dressing room, you see the glint in the eye, and at some stage, every one of those players will perhaps win a Test match with a ball or a bat. Love the MCG. It's been the axis of my life now for about, probably at least 4 decades. I painted the seats there. I was also a Melbourne Football Club player when it was then called VFL footy, and for Victoria, and then later on Australia. So I loved the place. Dennis Ellie breaks down, Jeff Dimmick and myself. What do? We got to bowl a lot of overs, and I think it was something like 43 overs. 8-ball overs back then, and ended up taking 8 for 143, and Bay 13, which you energise. You go down to Bay 13, and apart from when Dennis Lilly was there, it was kill, 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 Lilly. And if you're an Englishman, pretty lonely spot to be at either end of the wicket, and to hear that, and then this huge grey concrete coliseum just echoing to the sound of that just vibration, this cacophony of sound out there. And that was the backdrop that we played against so often. But not that I'm one for personal stats. I like to talk more about the character of people and what actually makes them a great player or a good player or a good performance to lift that bar and stretch the capability. But I guess every now and then it's nice to indulge. You'd remember the 78 not out that I scored at the Oval in 1977. If you don't, I'll play you through every shot. Hooks, cuts, pulls, drop catches. But personally, that to me, being a Melbourne Cricket Club player, captain, and for Victoria to take 8 wickets at the MCG, and I think I might have even ended up on a tapestry there as a result. The toss of a coin can make a difference. You bat, you bowl. Mike Diness was captain of England at Edgbaston in the first Test match in '75. Bit of precipitation, a little bit damp. They had a team meeting collectively in a spirit of collaboration with Mike Diness. They decided that they might insert us. So we get to bat first. Ian Chappell used to always say, if we make 350, we're going to win this. We did. We won the first Test match, resulted in us winning the Ashes. Mike Diness lost his job, and Tony Gregg was given the job to captain England after that. But that personally was a great match. I think both Tomo and Lilly and myself, we all got 5 wickets each in one of the innings. But the bit I remember most about this game was not so much the win and the personal bits. We were probably washed out. Didn't start play on time, and Alec Bedster, Alec and Eric, the twins. Alec had hands like massive, bigger than mine, and he bowled a pretty good leg cutter. And so during this break in play, here we were, England players over there, Australians over there, Alec and I with a bread roll, and we're talking about grips to bowl the leg cutter. And these guys were horrified. Even worse when I went out after that and took 5 wickets in the innings. How can you actually collude with the opposition? But I think that's what I love most about cricket, is that the generosity of spirit, the ability to hand on some skill from another player. Like Alan Connolly, great Victorian player, really good Australian player, told me about reverse swing before I went to the West Indies. I was also, in my time, the the best ball picker-outerer. You know, the umpires would bring the tray of balls out. You'd look at the stitching, the quarter stitching. Was it really dark? Was it light? Which one would be the best ball? You'd select that. And so when someone like Alan Connolly says, like this, when you go to the West Indies, son, load it up with perspiration, make it heavier on one side, it'll go Irish or the other way. Yeah, what can you say? I mean, you've got to have that attitude where you pass it on to the next generation and the next generation. And that's what I love about the cricket community and our great Ashes teams under Ian Chappell's leadership in the mid-70s. It was that spirit of collaboration. We trusted one another to the nth degree, and we would put our body on the line, go through enormous pain just for our country.